Today, let's talk about cults in Los Angeles and how to read the signs so you stay safe out there. My colleague slash friend possibly joined a cult and disappeared off the face of the earth in Los Angeles. It's been years, but I want to talk about it now. It all started with a very well-known spiritual person who claimed some pretty weird things. And don't get me wrong, I myself am spiritual. I love manifestation and things like that, but I do think like you can't manifest by sitting. You need to, work for it. And I draw the line when someone thinks they're possessed by a spirit or they're channeling someone to talk through them. That doesn't make any sense, okay? But for the sake of my friend, I checked out this spiritual person's work. I even checked out some of her online workshops, and while I liked her positive and uplifting quotes and workshops, my friend was obsessed with her. Like, we couldn't talk about anything else but this person and this person's teachings. She believed that this leader would change her life and finally give her what she deserved: success, happiness, love. And one day she sent me an invitation to an event. It's gonna be like a 2-3 week cruise with the leader and other followers. Alarm bells didn't ring for me then. I was ready to go because honestly, life sucked and I felt like I needed an out somewhere, and I liked this friend a lot. I would go on a vacation with this friend, like no problem, and it would be a relief to connect with fellow spiritual people, meditate, and yeah, I'd prefer the woods or the beach rather than being stuck on a cruise, which is when I started to think like, wait a minute, it's a cruise. They have control over everything we eat. They have control over our schedules. They have access to our rooms. We might not have access to our phone because cell reception, God knows where they're gonna take us. We don't even know. Maybe there's a cult on an island somewhere and they're gonna drop us off there. Like, you don't even know, and then suddenly you are lost. So things started to kind of scare me a little bit. Maybe it's just my overthinking. Also, who knows, even if they drop us back, God knows what type of brainwashing they're gonna do for 2-3 weeks. God knows what we're gonna have to do. I don't know, it just didn't make me comfortable. I decided not to go. But my friend went, and when she came back, we only met once after she came back. And now I'm not assuming anything. I kind of am, but I'll say I'm not assuming. Allegedly, whatever. Maybe it's me. Maybe she just didn't like me anymore. I don't know, But we only met once after that experience she had. We were grabbing coffee at the usual spot, and she was such a happy person, like filled with positivity. Like, every time I met her, I felt so relieved and positive, and it was such a beautiful connection that we had, in my opinion. That one meeting we had, she had life sucked out of her eyes. She didn't react. I joked about something, which she always laughs, but then she didn't laugh. She was just looking here and then answering very shortly and then looking there. And it was the weirdest thing ever. It's almost like I started to think about some theories here, like started to make up my own conclusion to what's going on. I thought maybe she's brainwashed. I thought maybe they gave her something and now she's dependent on that substance. I thought maybe they put an alien in her head and now my friend is gone, and it's almost like the Host movie. I'm sorry, like sometimes things are far-fetched, okay? I'm a writer. I'm gonna think about these things. It's normal. So I really thought maybe her consciousness is gone and something else is in her body now, because it was really, really weird. Like, I can't even describe that experience with you. After that, I kept texting her to meet, but then she didn't seem very interested. She didn't reply that much. So I stopped. But I am so sad to have lost her, and I really, really hope she's okay. I don't know, she's just gone. No posting on any social media, which makes me a bit concerned. I hope she's alive and well. I hope she's dealing with whatever is going on. But yeah, I couldn't help her, and it made me very sad. So based on this story and many other stories I have, let's talk about about cults in Los Angeles and how to recognize the signs, especially for artists, because we get sucked into this world without knowing much about it. I don't want anyone to cut ties with their loving family and friends and go off to some God knows what. I want everyone to be careful. So LA is known for Hollywood, but it's also known for its spiritual and wellness communities that's going on behind the scenes. And it's also a hotspot for cult activity. That's what they say. I haven't heard one single person who joined some spiritual or manifestation meditation event wherever in LA that didn't feel like a cult throughout the process. Like, they always talk about this. I've never joined one. I am scared. Here are some red flags to watch out for. And I don't want to give the bullshit like charismatic leaders and control and stuff. We all know those stuff, okay? I feel like at this point they're catching up with these signs, so the signs have changed. At first maybe they hide the leader. Once you're deep in, the leader comes out. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you the first initial signs that you should look out for. 1, isolation. Are they trying to isolate you from the rest of the world, like the cruise ship, right? Remote location with very few people and no access to cell reception. Have you seen the movie Midsummer? You know, no cell reception, no access to anything else in a different country. Don't go. Why are you going? Safety first. Your safety first. Are you that tired of your life? No, I get it. I'm tired too, girl. Let's go. Like, let's do a retreat that is not very culty. Let's just do it for our own sake. Anyway, stay safe out there. I get that there are some very nice retreats, right? We all want to go there, but look into it properly. Don't trust someone who has a cult-like following. That's very important. 2, faith and devotion to something. This can be toward their leader. They keep saying something spiritual that you relate to, and then suddenly it turns to like their leader or something that you have to. It's like very weird. Some devotion or faith towards something. That should be the red flag. Have you listened to episode 15 of this podcast where I talk about screenwriting competitions? But this one particular screenwriting competition felt like a cult, and these young girls were telling me to be grateful and worship this guy and being very, very weird. So once I started to realize there is devotion to this man in charge of this competition who is trying to suck other people into their world, I realized this is somewhat of a cult. Like, that's what I'm feeling. And the moment I felt that, I started to gaslight myself first 4 months. And then I got out, thank God. And I didn't meet them face to face. So yeah, there's that. Definitely trust your instincts, right? But basically, faith and devotion to something that's a bit too obsessive, get out of there. 3, you have to do something to please someone higher up. I haven't been to this phase of a cult, but I know people who did, and once those alarm bells ring, like you have to serve someone or do something for them unconditionally or please them to have some type of a rank up, level up, or some type of a promise of happiness or success, get out of there. You're not gonna get the success. You're not gonna get the happiness. All you're doing is serving someone. Don't do it. Don't go any deeper, okay? So these are my red flags, but I also Googled some other red flags and even asked ChatGPT. So I just want to quickly read that for you, just so you know. 1, charismatic leaders, right? 2, isolation, which we said. 3, control. 4, financial exploitation. That's very important. High fees for workshops, for retreats. Too many donations. It's very excessive. And then another thing is unquestioning faith, like we said, right? Devotion and faith, that seems a bit obsessive. So I'm glad we covered that as well. So you have all the signs you have to watch out for. The most important thing is your intuition. Don't be like me where you gaslight yourself to be like, no, I'm making it up. I'm being too much. No, I was abused by a narcissistic parent, so now I have self-trust issues, which I'm working on. And I hope you're working on that too. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, that built-in alarm bell. that goes off, it's very important that you trust that, okay? If you have some type of a feeling somewhere in your gut, in your stomach, in your chest, wherever, that you can't even explain why, maybe sometimes, right? Maybe sometimes there are no signs outside, but there's something inside that you're feeling like you should get out of there. Please get out of there. Please just say, hey, my mom was in an accident. I hope not, but make something up and just get out of there fast. And make sure to tell them, I'll be back. I'm so sorry, okay? Don't let them like grab you or something. Be like, I'm so sorry that this is happening. I really wanted to be here. Lie. Lie about it. Be like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be back at this time. I promise, blah, blah, blah. Okay, get out of there when you feel unsafe. Stop making excuses for other people's behavior. It's not even about cult anymore, right? I'm talking about my self-trust issues. Like when you have a bad feeling about someone or something or somewhere that is not safe, get out of there. Remember that it's easy to get drawn in when you're trying to find meaning in life. And as artists, I know we struggle a lot. When we move to Los Angeles, we feel alone. So someone that feels genuine suddenly tries to take you somewhere that feels genuine. Question that, okay? I understand the need to feel like you fit in, but be very careful. These are very serious issues that people go through. And imagine, like, I moved here 6 years ago, things I've experienced, things that people I know have experienced on a weekly basis. It's out there and it's very scary. If you or someone you know is in danger or you feel like they're getting involved with something that they shouldn't be involved in, please talk to someone about this. Call their family. Like, please do it. Even if you're the bad person, call their family, call their close friend, call their partner, and let them know what's going on and your concerns. And make sure to be like, hey, I'm just very concerned. Like, I'm not trying to snitch anyone, but I feel like my friend is getting lost in there. In this case with my friend, I had no idea who her family was. Like, I wish I did, but I didn't know. If I did, I would have definitely called them. Talk to a professional. Get some professional help. If you have to go to the police, do it. Literally do it. Calling 911 is fucking free, okay? These are serious, serious issues. I don't want anyone to experience these, especially my fellow artists, filmmakers, and writers. We are very vulnerable, especially the international party. You have an accent. It's drawing attention. People know you might be vulnerable because you don't know, you know what I mean? You don't belong here, so they might try to get you in. In Midsummer, why did this international cult target Americans? You know, think about that a little bit, because they don't know the land. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's okay and what's not okay. So be careful when you're moving to Los Angeles or anywhere else, really, I think. Also, one big thing is a producer promising you the world doesn't mean anything. Keep that in mind. There are scammers out there. There are mini or big and weird cult-like gatherings out there. Don't fall prey to these things, okay? A producer promising the world doesn't mean anything. Keep that in mind. Write it at the back of your mind. Do not forget it. Stay safe. Thank you for listening to A Screenwriter's Secret Diary. I hope I was able to warn you enough. I really hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or topics you want me to cover in the next episodes, please message me on Instagram or leave a comment down below. I love receiving comments, so I would love to check them out. And if you're listening to this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give me a 5-star review. If you want to see me on video, join us on YouTube. Okay, I'm literally right here with a beautiful light and an orange background. It's really fun over here. I mean, I hope. If this helped you in any way, please share it with a fellow artist friend, writer friend, filmmaker friend, and let's build this beautiful community to support each other. Thank you and see you next time.